What's today?
Thursday the 13th.
Okay, well, it looks like we got the newest member of the Rockefeller team.
Nah,
you hear what I mean? Yes, sir. It's another episode of the Free Breakfast Podcast. Food for thought and your most important meal of the day. I go by the name of DJ Paulie Guap.
And I am Hefe Lockhart here on the check-in, man. And today, man, this is a special episode,
It's
man. We got the young prodigy in the building,
team.
man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got Reuben Vincent in here
Yes,
with
sir.
us, man. What's up with you, man?
What's going down, man? How y'all feeling?
Can't
we
complain,
feeling good, man. Appreciate you
Feeling
coming here to sit down with us, man.
Nah, I appreciate y'all having me.
For
Y'all
sure,
like
for
family,
sure.
you know what I'm saying?
100,
I was
bro.
both of y'all for a minute now, so once Polly hit me, was like, yeah, slide through. I was like, bet, it's
You know what I'm
easy.
saying? This is so big, bro. It's a beautiful time to cherish each other, champion each other, celebrate each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody is got the head down, feet moving.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And as long as everybody's staying in position, we can't not win together. You know what I
100%.
mean? Like, oh man,
Right.
so proud of you, bro.
Thank
You know
you,
what I'm saying?
I remember, well, I know you got on my radar through actually the Vince Carter Clean Slate t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And
Absolutely.
that's how I found out about you, and that's what made me tap in with you and your campaign and what you had going on.
Wow.
But this was probably only about what 3 years
3
ago?
years ago?
Yeah.
Probably about 3 years ago.
Wow, that's crazy.
And what messed me up about that is that we grew up with his cousin. Like my nigga Samo Wale.
Facts.
Word.
Shout out Sayma, man.
So,
I was talking to him yesterday.
bro, what? Like, I'm talking about, like, in Mallet Woods, when I moved to the north side from the east, that was literally, like, my second friend in the neighborhood.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and me and Sam were, like, bro, hooping every day, like, outside, sun up to sundown. Like, Sam was, like, he was always one of them focused people early.
100%.
Like, real quiet, real, like, he taught me a lot about, like, observing. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like, at a
100%.
young age, when we was very, very young, he always taught me that, bro.
Man,
So, like,
Sayma, man. First and foremost, shout out to Sayma. Sayma is actually, him and Nuke have been like, you know, the closest people to me, family-wise, you know what I'm saying, growing up. And, you know, they were the people that, like, you know, I'll call if I have a new verse, and I'm like, yo, listen to this verse, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Sayma used to actually come to my crib during Christmas, you know, his Christmas breaks, because when he went to UNC, he used to come on my crib, and he used to spend summers at my crib. Like, I looked up to Sayma, and,
That's hard.
you know, you even saying his focus, I think I get a little bit of my focus from him. You know what I mean? Because I looked up to Sayma, like, my whole life, bro. Just like you said, he was just so locked in, laser focused. He don't play no games, and he
Early.
disciplined, too.
bro, at 13 years old, bro, he was teaching me shit like, I'm like, yo, this nigga's different. Like, Sam would come to my crib with a book in his hand, like, knocking on the door in the summertime. It's 98 degrees outside. Sam came to my house. He read a book on the way to knock on the door to go play basketball. Like, type nigga. Like, you feel
That
me?
sound like Sayma.
That's Sayma. You feel me? Like, that's... imagine that diligence at 13, bro.
That's crazy.
13. So, like, keep going about how that instilled in you.
Nah, man. You know, because me and Sayma, like, Sayma's like probably, he's not my first cousin, but I consider him my first cousin because that's how close we were. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, like, you know, we used to take trips to, like, Disney World, and, like, it was me, my mom, my brother, my sister, and him, and he put me on all the Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
All the
fact.
Wayne stuff, and, like,
Yeah.
all the new rappers. Like, he put me on Cole first. He was the first person to tell me about Cole.
Damn.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Because I was younger. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I was
For
in
sure.
elementary school around the time Cole started popping. So, like, you know, I think Sayma was like the catapult to that. Like, yo, you got to listen to Cole. He was the one feeding me music. Him and Nuke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Sayma is just like my dude, and he always, like, one thing about Sayma, if I send him a record, he gonna write me a paragraph, like, about lines that he caught. Like, that's why I love, because Sayma's been there since the beginning when I first started rapping, and he was telling me, like, oh, I like this line, I like what you said here. So even now when I send him records, he send me a text message like, yo, I heard what you said at this time, this is crazy, that part. Like, you know, he was one of the first people to just support me wholeheartedly. So
That's crazy.
What was your entrance into music? Like, not even saying how did you get into rapping? Like, what was the first music you remember hearing, like, through your memory? Like,
Right.
What was your entrance?
My interest, honestly, my interest come way before even I was alive, bro. Like, you know, my pops he was a refugee in Liberia around the Liberian Civil War in the 90s. But if you go do your Googles on the war in the 90s, some of the rebels, they named their armies after Tupac and Biggie.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So while the war was going on, Tupac and Biggie played a big part musically in the war in Liberia. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
So when he came to the States, Pac and Big was like all he played. You know what I'm saying? To the point when once I was born, and he used to pick me up from my mom's house, that's all he played in the whip. You know what I'm saying? So those are the first, my very first moments of hip hop is Pac and Big getting played in the whip. Then going on to 50, he played Get Rich or Die Trying. He used to, and then my godfather, he used to call me Lil 50. You know what I'm saying? So, and then on the flip side, on my mom's side, at my mom's house, I had two girl cousins who was older than me, who also came from Liberia, and they was big Bow Wow fans. So, they used to play Bow Wow around the house. And, I was just like, yo, if he can do it, he was 13 at the time. I was like, yo, if he can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I just took that and ran with it. And I just gravitated to music ever since I was a child. And honestly, my mother telling me this the other, like a year ago, she was like, your grandfather was actually musically, like, inclined too. Like, he played the drums, but he passed away because he was in the Army. Okay. He was in the Army of the war working for the government. Wow. And, his colleagues killed him. They slain him. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't from the tribe they was from. You know what I'm saying? So, but she told me, like, he used to play the drums. So, all of that, I feel like those is what, I feel like it's hereditary, but then also it's instilled from my pops and, my cousins playing the stuff around me. So,
wow.
So at what point do you start, like, really taking it serious? Or did you start taking it serious in your childhood years or like your later teen years?
I always knew I wanted to be a rapper, but I didn't take it serious until, like, I was, a little bit older, like in my teenage years. But I remember my first rap. I was 4 years old. My cousin was babysitting me. She fell asleep on the couch. I had to do some spelling words for homework. And she was like, you got to do these spelling words. And I was getting kind of bored with them. So I just ended up just writing a rap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So then, ever since then, like, my infatuation with music just grew. I used to run home and watch 106 in Park. And every day, bro. You know what I'm saying? So then, I think for me, time went by, you know what I'm saying? Just being a kid, you start looking at other stuff. I'm telling my mom, like, oh, I want to play ball. I want to do this. Then I had a cool dentist at the time, so I told her I wanted to be a dentist at one point.
Okay. You was just open. You was a sponge at the time.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to piggyback off what you said on the being 13. It takes me back to the other day when Ninth Wonder posted right after you knocked the cipher out. We're going to get to that, but after that, he posted that he had been grooming you since 13.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that you had been locked in with him that long.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause like when we was coming up, we used to run into Knife every year at Velocity Sneaker Boutique because he used to do an event. He was tight with Daryl. They used to always do CIAA events.
Right.
So when we was coming up, all our homies, we doing music. I'm DJing. We throwing shows. Like, we got T-shirts. Well, we got doing that in college, but it was always a promo street music
type of vibe.
Yeah. So we would always go up there and bring him 12 CDs, USB drives, like, yo, Knife, yo. And he'd be like, yo, these niggas come every year. So I'm like, they won't stop. You feel me? Type shit. But, like, it shows because I saw when he got Rhapsody fresh off the court, playing basketball. She stopped playing ball. He got hurt. Then he brings her down to Charlotte. It's like, hey, y'all, I just signed her fresh off the basketball court. Like, she's incredible, this, da-da-da-da-da. And then it's like to see that now to Rhapsody today.
Right.
And then to see y'all's relation. Like, it's just like, yo, my mind be like, yo, what the fuck? I saw all of this. Like that shit blows my mind.
And me and Knife, that honestly, bro, like, everybody always asks me, like, how do you get connected? It wasn't my family member knew him. That it was just God. So I'm gonna get to that, but I'm gonna take you back to when I was 8 years old. So when I was 8 years old, I was in the car with my uncle DeBon, and a lot of Africans, they play soccer. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So Uncle DeBon and all my uncles, they used to go to the field and play soccer. So I used to, just tag along. One way, the way I was, I always hung out with older people, all my older cousins, my older uncles. That's why I was always, like, close to Samai, because he was older than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just always gravitated to, the older crowd. But I used to follow my uncle around, and I remember one day, he was playing Dedication 2 in the car. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo, man, you hear how Wayne flowing and he on right, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I could do that, just jokingly. But he was like, let's see. So, he lowered the beat down. It was Cannon by Wayne.
Okay.
And he lowered the beat down, like, the record down. You could still hear Wayne's voice, but you can only hear the beat. Okay. So he was like, go ahead, it's freestyle. So I just started freestyling whatever came to my mind, what I'm saying, at that time. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo, you not, like, the words weren't there, but the flows were, what I'm saying? So he was like, nah, this kid is gifted. Mm-hmm. And he took me to Nia, what I'm saying? She actually owned a barbershop right on I can't think of the road right now, Nuke. What's the road that Nia barbershop on? Off Central, yeah, on the east. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So he took me to Nia, who've known me since legit now. But he took me to Nia's spot and he was just like, yo, you gotta listen to him. You gotta listen to him. And she played Biggie's Juicy.
Oh, wow.
And she told me to freestyle over that instrumental. Mm-hmm. And so I freestyled, and then she took me to this dude named Mike. He had a independent label in the city called Down Bottom Records.
Never heard of it.
You know what I'm saying? And I was recording in he had like a studio in his crib. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I'm starting up this label called Down Bottom, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah. He was like, let's see what you got. So Uncle the Born had took me over there with another person named Mateo. I don't know where he's at now, but I don't know if my uncle and his mom, they were dating at the time, but he was coming around, you know what I'm saying? Sure. So he was like, he want to rap too. So I was like, all right, we could be in a group.
Bingo.
So we went over there, and but I was so excited, I was writing before I got to the studio. So I wrote like 8 songs the night before, just random, whatever came to my mind. But I didn't have no beats. So I'm just writing off the strength. So when we get there, none of the beats is matching with what I wrote. Mm-hmm. So I was like, so then Mateo was like, I don't think I'm ready. I was like, I'm ready regardless. Like, forget the notebook. I'm about to go.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So we went in the booth, and I told Mateo just come in the booth with me and try it. He wasn't ready, so I just took the headphones and just freestyled for 3 minutes straight. And then, Mike, he taught me, what's the 16 bars, was hooks, you know what I'm saying, ad-libs, all of that. Mm-hmm. So, I was rocking with him for like a year and some change, and then, obviously things, we kind of separated apart, nothing like in a disagreement, but, I'm a kid, you know what I'm saying, so my mom wanted me to be in school, you know what I mean, all that, so, after that, and it was funny because my uncle was like, yo, your son can rap, and she didn't see it at the time. But then when she heard the CD, she was like, oh, okay, like, this a talent, you know what I'm saying? So then after that, I was just doing, just being a kid again, Then I told my mom, like, when I was like 10, 11, like, 10 years old, I was like, man, I don't want to deal with the industry. Because I was going on YouTube, seeing stuff about the industry.
So you was doing your research. Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to be a rapper no more. She was like, why? And I was like, because the industry is wicked, da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And she was like, she was like, if it's a passion that you have, don't let that, separate you from it.
Right.
And, I was like, whatever. I was being a kid again, but, it was always drawn to me. Mm-hmm. So, for Christmas, she scratched up the little money she had, got me a microphone.
Oh, that's
You know what I'm saying? So I started recording at the crib. Mm-hmm. But then one of her friends was dating this dude named DJ Infinite. And DJ Infinite came to my crib and he was like, I'm going to tell you to study these things. You got to study what's the first rap song. You got to study this. Who's your favorite rappers, blah, blah, blah. Give me a verse from them. And then come back to me. So I did all that research.
He gave you solid like OG
homework.
Foundation homework.
Yeah, homework.
Okay.
So that moment, if I didn't have that moment, you know what I'm saying, I could be like any of these new young rappers. No diss to them, but they don't really study the game that came before them.
Right.
But
that's correct.
That was instilled in me early to the point where now I'm a student of the game to this day. So, I was going over there. He had a crew called Wolfpack. You know what I'm saying? There was actually an independent magazine in the city. I got to find the name. I don't even remember the name either, but I'm in the magazine at 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Yeah, talking about I'm going to be a businessman when I get older. My favorite, I want to be a businessman like Jay, ironically.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And,
that's crazy.
So then that kind of fell through because the leader of the Wolfpack, the artist leader, he was envious of me. I'm 10 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't tripping though, because I think the reason why he was, because the dude who wrote the article, in the magazine, it was a group article, and they was like, yo, y'all better watch out for that kid. He might take your spot. He said that to him, and it kind of rubbed him the wrong way. So I kind of just separated myself and just started doing my thing on my own. And I started putting mixtapes out like 12 years old. On Dat Piff, I had put out a mixtape called Strive. I hate that I deleted it. I don't know why. Yeah, I
can't find it?
Yeah, but I got one on there called Idolescent. It's on Dat Piff.
Okay.
So it was when I was 13, and that's actually the way Ninth found me. So
was through that mixtape?
Yeah, through that mixtape.
See, this goes back to what I said on Twitter the other day when I told people, I said, yo, don't forget about the DJs that's still hitting up Dat Piff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very serious, like, the other day, Currency dropped a mixtape on YouTube.
He did.
The
My
8 Ball Jacket.
About that. Yeah.
It's one of the best Currency mixtapes I've heard in years, and it's nowhere to be found but on YouTube.
Yeah.
As one video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I literally begged Currency on Twitter for 2 days to put it on Dat Piff just for the DJs.
Yeah.
Because of that energy that he's talking about right now. The fact that Ninth Wonder, who's a product of 90s music, right, is going to find an artist like that on Dat Piff in this generation.
Now,
you know
here's the kill. So he found the link because somebody tweeted him and said, somebody from Oakland, his name Milan Drake, shout out Milan Drake, he actually texted me yesterday, and I always give him thanks because, like, that one tweet saved my life. But he said, I don't know this kid from nowhere, but I saw he's from North Carolina. You should check him out. And the fact that he said, I don't know this kid, made Ninth gravitate to it because Ninth get a lot of, links every day. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, he was just like, the fact that a dude from Oakland was vouching for a kid from North Carolina. And mind you, I was recording on Apple headphones at the time. If you go listen to the quality on Adolescent, the quality's trash. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, but it was out the, literally that mic you had?
Yeah.
Plus the Apple head, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the quality was just terrible, and but he heard the potential. And, he DM'd me, and he was like, where's your mom? And he went and hollered at my mom. He was like, look, I ain't trying to promise your son nothing. I'm not promising him a deal. I just want to give him a space to record. You know what I'm saying? And, I just took that and ran with it to the point where, I remember he sat me down the first weekend I went there, and he looked at me. He said, look, man, I'm not here to promise you nothing. I just want to give you a space because I know how the industry is. He was like, I want to give you a space just so you can create. You know what I'm saying? If you want to take this serious, you have us to help you take it serious, but, I want you to think about it. But right then in that moment, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So, you know what I'm saying?
So, hold on. You 13, right? Do you know, obviously this is Ninth Wonder. Do you know this is Ninth Wonder who got busy with Fontaine, Big Pooh?
Hell yeah.
Did a beat on the Black album.
Yep.
You know this.
Hell yeah, man.
How does that make you feel? Like, what the fuck?
I was like, whoa. And the crazy thing for me, at the time that this was happening, I was going through a lot at my house. You know what I'm saying? My and this is stuff I'm going to talk about, not on this album, but later on albums that I have, you know what I'm saying? But, my mom and my stepfather, you know what I'm saying, they kind of was going through like turmoil where, a divorce was happening. My mom had to work 3 jobs to kind of keep the lights on because we had a house off on the Red Sea on the east, right on off Harrisburg.
Right by the Red Sea.
Yep. So she had to, the house was nice, but you go on the inside, ain't no food in the fridge. You know what I'm saying? There's broken kids in there. Me, my brother, and my sister. My mom working from 11 to 11. You know what I'm saying? Every day, bro. So it's just me and my brother and sister in there. We, going through all these emotions, at 13 to the point where I was almost like, man, forget music. Like, I just got to go to school and figure something else out. But, that's why I say it was God, bro, because around that, through those hardships, Ninth found me, and he ain't even know at the time I was going through that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a blessing in disguise, bro. And that's why, like, to your answer, to your point, it's like, yo, like, what? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why I took it so serious, and that's why I really was like, no, I'm gonna stay in the studio because of what was happening right when that moment happened. I was like, nah, like this is a sign from up above, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to take this and run with it.
Was Ninth hitting you almost like a validation?
Yes.
In your mind?
100%. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Like a validation to keep going.
Exactly. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was about to say forget music. I was about to just be like, not forget music forever, but I was on some, man, I'm a kid, bro. Nobody gonna take me serious right now. I'm gonna just wait till I'm older. Then, you know, I might come back around to it. You know what I'm saying? But it was kind of frustrating for me because I was serious. You know what I'm saying? And nobody was taking me serious.
Right.
But I was like, man, forget it. And for him to hit me a week after I said that, it was just like, all right, nah, like somebody, like somewhere the universe is telling me, nah, this is for you.
That was God's reminder. He's like, wait, hold up, bro. Go back. Go back.
Exactly.
Go lock in right fast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be quick, but it's a lot better than other alternatives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to be able to do that, what do you think? Because I also noticed Knife would say that you would use every opportunity you had to come to his studio and lock in, like sleeping in there night after night, boom, like summers, school breaks, all of these types of things. So from 13 to kind of maybe when 18 plus, when you out of high school and you kind of got that freedom to maneuver, what was that like? The process of joining Jamla, going through those camps, writing, making music, like going, oh, that's good, that's trash, we gotta redo that. Like what was that work life like, that camp life?
Man, it was a lot of humbling. And shout out to our label president Cash, because he gonna tell you straight up that shit trash. You know what I mean? He gonna tell you like that. So, it was a lot of nights I was in the studio and he's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? And I had to humble myself because, I'm feeling like I done spent hours in here. This is the greatest thing in the world. And he like, nah, but, and even to the point where I got a classic album in the vault that I did when I was 18.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? That the world has yet to hear. You know what I'm saying? And, and I've passed that now. But it was so humbling because it was during the moments of me still working, me still going through kind of, boot camp. You know what I'm saying? But I wholeheartedly believe the album that I created out of those that camp is a classic. You know what I'm saying? And one day the people might get to hear it. But it was real humbling because, one thing they really put you through, you know what I'm saying, like really like trained you, like, you know what I'm saying, like even to the point of like, from 13 to like 15, 16 was like me just like really training, like even Knife telling me to work on my breath control. Because when I first came over there, I was just, because I was a kid, I'm so excited, I'm just like just rapping, you know what I'm saying? So, he taught me breath control. Then when I was 16, I really started to learn how to make songs, how to be melodic, you know what I'm saying? Then by the time I turned 17, 18, Knife started. That's because I signed to Knife when I was 16.
That was about to be my question. What's that conversation like? When you go from just being Reuben that's coming around, you getting groomed, but now it's like, we about to make this official.
So it's crazy. Knife had always been like, I always been wanting to be son of Knife. You know what I'm saying? I used to beg him, and I remember he said 2 words to me when I was 14, because I used to blow up his Twitter DMs all the time. Like, because I had contact to him, I just felt like I could talk to him any time of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, forgetting that, because I was 14, I'm forgetting that this man is he got kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a teacher. Then he got a label to run. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just blowing up his phone. And I'm like, yo, when we drop it, I'm ready to go. And he said, be still.
Wow.
That's all he said.
He said that like an old North Carolina nigga. I love it. That sounds like something my own. Hey, that's a real grammar. Hey, be still.
Right.
Like don't chit. Hey, be still.
Right. So
I love it.
The transition was, it was real it was real easy, honestly. It just felt like, all right, you in the family now. Because I remember he hit me when he seen something I put on social media. He texted me because he saw a freestyle I did, and he said, you sound about ready. And I was like, okay, we moving. And this time it was just me and Nuke getting it out the mud, because at the time him and Rap was, on the road because she had just signed to do a Roc. So I was kind of like, not saying that they was like forgetting about me, but I know it was a less time I was coming over there. So me and Nuke was just getting it on our own. I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. So we shot a video called Chains on Me. That ended up being on my first debut with Knife. But that was me taking a leap of faith. Like, yo, I got this record with Knife. I'm just going, it was produced by Crisis, but I was like, I got this record with Jamla, but I'm going to just shoot a video and throw it out because I'm not about to be waiting. Right. But it actually ended up you know, being a blessing in disguise, because once I put it out, he was like, yo, we ready. He was like, you ready to go?
It's time.
And I was like, yeah. So then he was like, all right, come up during spring break. And it's funny because I was working at Chick-fil-A at the time. And I remember
which one in the city?
The one off Randolph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I was like, I told my boss, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm going to go do this thing for a week. And they said no, so I quit.
Oh, easy.
You know what I'm saying?
Easy. Respectfully.
And that week was just dope because, you know, Guru had just left when I got there, so I missed Guru, ironically, you know what I'm saying, for us to be as close as we are now, but I had just missed him. But he was telling Knife and them 444 was coming out. And then Knife was playing me Duckworth the week before it came out.
Okay.
But that was like my way in, because usually, like, honestly, you know, I was around, but there were certain things they kept away from me just for confidential reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Certain, you know, So him playing Duckworth for me before it came out was like, welcome to the family almost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he was like, all right, let's focus on your project and, you know, getting that done and stuff like that. So it was a dope transition, and, you know, it just felt like it was time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done graduated, you know, so.
I think that you answered one of my questions, but I just want to mention this. You know, when you're younger, it's kind of hard to be understanding and process things. So when you at the end of the bench, are you like, man, fuck,
right?
You know, like, fuck this shit going. You know what I'm saying? When my time gonna come,
right? And I sat, and that's even now, bro. Like, really, this year and last year is the first time it's like I'm really, like, you know, really reaping this, because I sat since 13
Right.
and worked and worked and worked and worked and, you know, put my foot forward and, you know, just sacrificed everything. So I feel like all them 7 years of just hard work is starting to merit back right now. And then I feel like now I'm meriting the work that's going to happen for the next 7 years. You know what I'm saying? So
during that time, do you feel like which artists within the Jamla family kind of was the coaches and the assistants and like you in the corner, and that person kind of drew to you to come over there and be like, hey, Reuben, man, what's up? What you working on, man? Like, you know, obviously you and Rap got a great little brother, big sister relationship, but like kind of talk about like the other artists and producers around the Jamla family that kind of really gravitated to you once they welcomed you in.
Shoot, man, Crisis.
That's where I was going to touch on.
I was in there with him, you know what I'm saying, day in, day out, especially with Myers Park. Like, you know what I'm saying, he was the one helping me find my voice with Myers Park, you know what I mean? Rap, obviously, like you said, we got a brother and sister relationship, so that was that. And then GQ, you know what I'm saying, GQ from the town, he was like really, like, you know, he took me in as big bro, you know, just looking after me, and, you know, also just let me know, like, bro, you the one, bro. Like, he always used to tell me that. And then obviously Cash, you know what I'm saying, Cash gonna give you that tough love. Like, you know, he gonna let you know when you do something dope, but he also gonna let you know if it's trash. He not gonna boost your head up just to boost your head up. So, you know, obviously everybody felt like family, but, you know, Heather too took me in, like, you know, big sister, you know what I'm saying, but everybody took me in as family, but, you know, those was the one, like, Crisis really honed in with me, like, when I first got there, him, Ninth, Rat, you know what I'm saying, Cash, like, they was the ones, like, honing in with me and really just locking in and just focusing on what I was doing, so.
I can see a picture of you and Crisis, or maybe, like, not even a specific photo, but y'all energy, he giving me head coach energy.
Yeah.
He giving me star player energy.
Yeah.
That seemed like the relationship y'all got. You know
100%. It exactly that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Crisis gonna put me in them pockets I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Or he gonna be like, nah, try this. Or try this. Or do this. And you know what I'm saying? Or he gonna be like, all right. Or I'll be like, yo, I want to do this. And then he gonna be like, all right, bet. Let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Even the Andy Milonakis joint, I was like, when I signed, I was like, yo, I want to put a statement out. And I was like, I want a crazy record. Like, I just want to talk my shit. And he gave me that beat. And I hit soundtrack, like, yo, I need the other flip to just sound crazy on the flip side. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like you said, star player, one thing I notice about a lot of star players, especially Brian, he does coaching himself. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's been me and Crisis' relationship, where it's like he's coached me, but then he's also let me coach. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So
yeah,
it's almost like a dual. It's a mentorship with leeway for growth.
Right.
You know, it's allowing you not to be just taught, but because we can learn things from everybody. You know, age and experience is like, it doesn't always have to trump each other.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes your little brother will show you something. Your little cousin, you know what I'm saying, will teach you something. I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a beautiful thing. When it comes to production, kind of talk about your relationship with Terrence Martin. Like, how did y'all meet? How did y'all? Because one of your favorite records of mine is produced by Terrence Martin. So the Sleepless joint.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that and how you got on that project and how y'all got acquainted.
We got acquainted because, you know, obviously he had a relationship with Ninth and Rap, but Rap had flew me out to L.A. with her. You know what I'm saying? And while she was working on her Eve project. And she was like, yo, man, Reuben, he one of them next ones, man. I'm trying to tell you. And he started playing me stuff. And I remember the first thing he said to me was like, what's your sign? I was like, I'm a Capricorn. He's like, me too.
That's hard.
He was like, you a hard worker, ain't you? You know what I'm saying? He was like, you probably be breaking girls' hearts because you work too hard. I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he just, man, Terrence, ever since I met Terrence, he always, you know, was open to giving me advice, giving me guidance, giving me, you know what I'm saying, a sense of direction, telling me, you know, I remember the first time we sat in the studio and I was like playing him records and he was like, man, like, he was like, what you need to understand, because you so young and you so talented and gifted as a lyricist, he was like, you got to play the same, he was like, you got to play the game the same way a Dot played it, where Kendrick could get on a record with Lil Uzi and go crazy, but then he can get on a record with Hove and go crazy. He was like, you got to play those same roles.
The duality.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, don't be afraid to do that. He was like, don't be afraid to step out of that box. And you know what I'm saying, and step up and you know what I'm saying, he's like, break the mold. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you're gonna stand out. He was like, I don't want you to be another internet rapper. You know, when he told me that, it really, you know, gave me a perspective on how I wanted to be as an artist. And, you know, ever since then, every time I go see Terrence, he always give me game that I'm gonna go look at myself in the mirror when I leave and be like, man, like, you know, what's some things I gotta work on.
Wow. Who do you feel like in the city perspective, who that you haven't worked with that you do want to work with? You know, you work with a lot of people, but it's all you always. I love the fact that you always find your way back home.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like you always find your way back home, and it's like sometimes, you know, people stray away. You know, some people stay too long. Some people don't want to come back, but like the fact that no matter how far you go, you always find your way home. That shit is beautiful, bro.
Nah, I appreciate it.
So beautiful, bro.
Home is where the heart is. You know, there's a lot of people I want to acknowledge out the city. You know what I'm saying? I feel like me and Sianka have a couple in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? I want to sit in with Luke for sure. You know what I'm saying? Me and Luke been having a relationship for a while now, but I think we've yet to sit down and actually, you know, make a record or be able to sit in the studio and play. Because every time we see each other, it's like at an event or it's just on some homie stuff. Because, you know, him and Nuke had a personal relationship before he signed to Dreamville. I remember he followed me on the gram and he was like, yo, you hard. You know what I'm saying? So me and Luke's relationship just go that far. But I know once we finally sit in the studio with each other, it'll be able to, you know, really lock in. And it's crazy because, like, I really be going to a lot of sessions, like, you know, in the city. I just don't be posting or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be chilling. Like, I go pull up on Mavi sometimes. I go pull up on Amir sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Have you and Mavi cut something?
Nah, he cut something over my beat one time. It's a record him and Amir got out called On My Own. I actually made the beat for. Me and Amir got like 3 records, 4 records together. Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah,
that's
I actually got one on my new album. I got the outro on my next album.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah. That's super fire.
So I imagine Guru starts coming around a little more. Boom. Then he gets a position in Jamla.
Right.
What changes?
Man, shoot, for me, everything, honestly, you know what I'm saying? He was already, like, you know, playing a major role with rap, obviously. And, you know, just playing a major role as an executive. Like, he'd always come down. Like, even when I first started coming around, he'd come down and, like, you know, just give advice and, you know, give game. But for me, personally, what changed, it was like, he really honed in on who I was as an artist. He really sat there and, like, you know, you gonna come live with me. You know what I'm saying? Come live with me and I'm gonna help, you know, tell your story, figure out who you are. You gonna teach me things. I'm gonna teach you things. And, like, you know, one thing about Gu is he's a true teacher. So, you know,
old school.
You know, so I feel like he sat there and he really, like, you know, just honed in on who I was because, you know what I'm saying, Ninth, what Guru's doing for me now, I can say Ninth was doing for rap. You know what I'm saying? And not saying Ninth is not a part of my journey, because Ninth is in my joint, but like sitting down and being in the room with me every day, Guru's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it just gave me a different perspective. And you know, cause me and Ninth is like big bros. So you know, we go to the studio. He's at the studio every day. You know what I'm saying? We laugh, clown. Yeah. But Guru really took me away from everything I was familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Took me out to LA, away from the city, away from all my distractions. You know what I mean? And just was like, yo, we gotta hone in on this project. You know what I'm saying? And that was a different calling for me and a different thing for me. You know what I mean? So
I think Guru stepping in with like such a willingness, it was like almost you never had to ask him. Exactly. You never had to beg his email. You never had to leave voice messages or just it was almost like you put in the work.
Right.
You kept your head down, kept your feet moving, and it was like boom.
Right.
And then somebody, a sensei came and said, you know what? I want to make you my student.
Exactly.
Are you willing to do that?
Exactly.
And it was like you ready. You like, nigga, I was the one at 13. Like, yo, bro, throw me in the pit. I'm ready right now. Like,
hell yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's incredible. Kind of talk about like what it's like being someone that he has to manage, a part of being Hov's engineer, a part of being on one of the heads of Roc Nation. Like, kind of talk about how that is being a part of a bigger circumstance in yourself.
And before I go into that, I want to get to your point. Is a lot of people feel like because I was around Ninth and rap that this was just handed to me. I worked for this. Like, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, I worked hard. You feel me? Like, really hard. You know what I'm saying? To the point where the people at the Rock saw the State of Mind video and called Ninth. It wasn't Ninth calling them like, yo, y'all need to sign Reuben. They saw what I was doing and was like, yo, we need to get this kid on a team. You know what I'm saying? So to your point of like, you know, Good hopping in on the management side, but also coming from being Hov's engineer, coming from being, you know what I'm saying, just having the place he has at the Rock, it definitely is a leverage, you know what I'm saying, that I have, but it's also, he don't let me just get anything just because I'm with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to work for it, and I'm willing to work for it. And, you know, the thing about him, he's really stepping out of his comfort zone, being the manager. You know what I'm saying? Because Goob was in the studio majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for him to finally be like, you know, I'm about to go walk with you on the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? Go to these meetings with you. Like, that's him stepping out his comfort zone, but he's been in the business so long that he can do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's wild. He said on Mav Hoffa podcast, he said Reuben helped him step out of his normal shell because of the fact that, like, he don't do that. He don't do that at all. Like, said, he don't even do that for Hov. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They said him and hip hop never left baseline back there.
Never. And that's crazy. He said that on Mav Hoffa. He said, yo, like, Reuben, not only did he big you up in a lyrical sense, but he bigged you up saying that you're showing him new things by y'all's journey. You know what I mean? It's like, he been around the block before. He been here before, but it's like Foxy Brown's journey ain't your journey. Hov's journey ain't your journey. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole new track. You know, a new track.
It's just dope because, like, you know, one thing I told Goo is like, man, I don't even think he knows. I told him this, but I don't even think he knows how much direction he gave me at a time I needed it. You know what I'm saying? You know, me and the way I can put it is like this. Me and my pops, we never grew up in the same crib.
Wow. Okay.
I never grew up with my pops in the same crib. Me and my dad, does me and my dad have a relationship? Yes. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, we had a relationship, then it got distant, then we rebuilt our relationship now. But there was a time where I was confused myself about who I was as a man. And I feel like Goo came in and, you know, stepped in and kind of gave me a direction of where do I want to be as a man? What am I standing for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew where I wanted to go, but I needed that you know, that push to be like, nah, you got to go this way. You know what I'm saying? Not even like on like I'm forcing you, but this is your calling. You know what I'm saying? And he just showed me you you know, he just showed me something different that I needed at the time, and especially at a time I was going through a lot, bro. I'm gonna be honest. When I first went out to LA early in January, I was going through a lot of turmoil because I was like, I felt like I was getting my breakthrough that I wanted. I felt like, you know, nobody was understanding what I was trying to do. I was getting tired of school. You know what I'm saying? It just was a lot of stuff going on at the inner city. You know what I'm saying? I had lost a cousin a couple years ago. Wow, you know what I mean? So it just was a lot, bro. And me being in LA kind of just gave me time to kind of like, you know, cut all the distractions. You know what I'm saying? I told myself I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't messing with no girls. I'm going to sit here and really take this opportunity to full-fledged. Wow. And, you know, being in that, you know, I had to face some demons, bro. You know what I'm saying? And not to be on no dark, crazy stuff, but everybody got stuff they don't want to, you know, deal with. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like me being out in LA working on this album, I had to deal with those things, and I think it reflects in this album. So,
what do you feel like off of your journey with Guru, the different places you go, the people that you're meeting, being able to speak for yourself, right? You know, not just being, oh, you're the guy that they talk about. Right. Like, it's like, nah, like, oh, hey, I'm Reuben. Like, yo, what's up? Like, it's me. You can talk to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of talk about, building that relationship with Emery. You know, shout out to Puma. You know, see y'all getting kidded. I love the work y'all been doing. Kind of talk about meeting those types of people like Emery and, you know, more of the Roc family.
And it's crazy because shout out to Emery, man. Because Emery hit Knife in them was like, yo, who's this kid? Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then he just, ever since he did that, man, Emery just been showing me love, man. Emery's just like genuine stand-up, solid dude, bro. Like, you know, he's another dude that I like admire and, you know, aspire to be like, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's a little 10% of, you know what I'm saying? But to your point of speaking up, making my own connections, I feel like I always had that in me. Like, even when I used to travel with rap, I used to be like, rap always told me, when I'm out in these places, don't hesitate to speak up. You know what I'm saying? Don't hesitate to talk. Because what you do, your action is not anybody else's action, but as long as you spoke, you can't say you did. Damn, I wish I ain't speak to that person when I was, you know, with them or blah, blah, blah. So I speak whenever I'm around people, you know, if I want to speak. You know what I'm saying? Some people, I might peep your energy and I might just not say nothing and observe, but I'm going to speak if I feel like I need to. But one thing Gu always was telling me, like, in these meetings and stuff, because, you know, I'm a quiet, like you said, the way you describe St. Mars, how I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, real quiet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew I rapped, but everybody, like, you know, I was quiet. I was the good kid, but I was good because I said in the other day in a line that I got on the song, I was like, I'm the good kid that left the street niggas inspired. I was always quiet because my mom was in a riot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real talk. But you know, I say that to say, Gu would tell me, like, yo, this is your life. You got to speak, bro. You got to speak up. If you don't feel comfortable with this, let us know. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, we're here to guide you, but this is your career. You know what I'm saying? So speak up when you feel a certain way. So him giving me that, because I feel like, you know, at a time I was kind of losing that fire in me, you know what I'm saying? Where not even in a negative way, but, you know, I felt like because I was new, I didn't have no say. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't even on them.
That was a personal misconception?
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm new to this. I didn't want to speak and not know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't like speaking and not knowing what I'm talking about. So I wouldn't speak, but he's like, bro, how you feel? You agreeing with me. How do you feel? You know what I'm saying? And that just put me in a perspective of like, nah, like, this is on me at the end of the day. So I'm going to tell this story like in full once the album come out. But there's a one record on the album that Guru and Knife argued to death about. You know what I'm saying? And that was a time I was
That's love right there.
Yeah, you know, I was like, nah, this is like, and because even I was in the middle of the argument because they like, what you think, Reuben? And I'm like, oh, I get your point, Knife, and I get your point, Guru. And they like, no, Reuben, what you feel like? They're like, bro, nobody's going to condemn you if you have a different opinion than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are our little brother. We want to know how you feel.
Do you think age do you think you was just being respectful by not speaking? It was an age thing, seniority thing. Like, I'm the little brother, so I'm going to just...
And then on top of that, I come from African parents, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just being real, like, you know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, you know, having a descent in an African home didn't go too well. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was just an internal thing I was dealing with. But also, like you said, it was a respect thing. Yeah. Because of coming from an African parent, it's like you got to respect what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was just like, man, you know, they been in the game longer than me. They know more than me. I'ma just, you know, rock. But they like, nah, you got to say too. And they actually just put me in a role of leadership that I needed. Because I always felt like I was, you know what I'm saying? And somebody told me this, you don't title yourself the leaders. People title you that. You know what I'm saying? But they showed me that I am a leader. You know what I mean? And the leader that's in me needed to come out. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've always took the lead, but I feel like I was always hesitant to be the person I am. You know what I'm saying? So that moment, them showing me that was like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? We can have disagreements, and we gonna go get some Jamaican food right after. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
But it's all for the greater good. You know?
I noticed that when we linked in the studio when we were working on my DJ album, and like I had my ideas, I came ready, I had the beats, I had everything. But what I loved about you is that you came with your whole bag ready too. Like you like, yo, bro, I was listening to that. I like that. This one, I like that, but I don't know. I think we should put a female on here, and I think we should do this. And I'm like, damn, yo, this like at the time in my album process, you were the only artist really coming with their own bag of direction. You know, most of them, it was just me coming with my idea, like, and they just doing it off the love and my work that I put in. Like, they like, oh yeah, Paulie, you want, boom, I'm knock it out. But you came with your own, you know what I'm saying? Like
that was a big moment for me. I didn't even tell you that. That was a big moment for me because just like I'm telling you, I'm learning how to speak up sometimes. That was a moment where I was like, nah, I got to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to sit there and like you said, a lot of times a person might not be feeling something and they just gonna be like, all right, that's cool. And then they gonna talk about it with their homies like, man, I wasn't really even feeling that record. Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? That's not genuine. And like you said, that's not love.
That's not love.
So for me, I was like, nah, man, like, you know, because I've been yearning to do that because I feel like as a kid, not even necessarily in my house, but just period, I feel like because like I was, you know, just being real with y'all, I was smaller than everybody growing up. You know what I'm saying? I was quiet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my voice was not, you feel me? So I was like, man, fuck all that shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my life, and I got to have control over my life, and I got to take accountability for what I got going on. You know what I'm saying?
You turned into the giant.
Yeah.
It's always, they refer to you as the lion, right?
Yeah, young lion.
Yeah, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Can we talk a bit about live performance? You did a leg of Pusha T's tour. I had a chance to see you open up on the Charlotte date, and I actually had a conversation with your DJ. Shout out to Johnny Kane. Shout out Kane.
Shout out Kane, man.
And man, y'all's performance is so polished.
Thank you, bro.
Like, I think a lot of rappers get shit misconstrued, and me and Paul always talk about this. Like, it's a such thing as performance etiquette. A lot of rappers just gonna get up there and rap and think they performing and do a terrible job. But like, you gotta practice that shit. It's like, you know, knowing when to call and respond with your DJ. You know what I'm saying? Having that chemistry with your DJ. Talk a bit about your live performance, man, and your chemistry with Johnny Kane, who you haven't even known that long. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we only known each other for like a year and a half.
Word.
But it's crazy. We have mutual friends throughout our whole life. We have mutual family, kind of, not family members, but you know what I'm saying? He knew my brother and sister's dad, like, because he's Sierra Leone, and my brother and sister are half Sierra Leone, half Liberian. So it was like we had all these mutual people, but we just never crossed paths. And then he actually, in high school, I was cool with one of my homegirls. Shout out Paris. She was in the Butterfly Doors video, but her and Johnny was cool. So I used to see him.
That was the girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I used to see him on her page. But I never, like, you know, I'm not going to go try to speak to people if they're not speaking to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying?
That's a city nigga thing.
You feel me? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
we don't do that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to be, especially over, you know, no dude. You know, I'm not thirsting over no dude. You know what I'm saying? He got his own stuff going on. I got my own stuff going on.
Right.
That's a fact.
And it was crazy. So Johnny had DM'd me and was like, yo, I want to get you in this hat. Mm-hmm. And I was busy, so I ain't reply to the DM, but I was like, when I get back to the city, I'm going to reply to the DM. And I was actually working at, shout out my boy Gio, I was working at Fitteds at the time. And the next day, literally after I said that to myself, I was like, I'll reply tomorrow. I went to work to Fitteds, and Johnny pulled up and was like, yo, like, you know, I DM'd you last night. And I was like, yeah, I know. I said I was going to reply to it today, actually. Yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. He told me, like, he DJ'd and stuff like that, and I was actually looking for a DJ at the time. You know what I'm saying? But then, as we got, you know, acquainted, I realized we was way alike. We was very alike in many ways. We
that
come
chemistry.
we come from similar backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? We both represent the same thing. You know what I'm saying? His music taste is just immaculate. We listen to the same type of music. We had we very similar. You know what I'm saying? And so we just started hanging out, bro. Like literally, like it was like I knew this dude my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And it just like we started hanging out, just chopping it up with each other. You know, and then by the time the year went by, I was like, yo, I'm going on tour. You trying to be my DJ. You know what I'm saying? But he was already DJing for me. We was already doing trial runs in the city. You know, we did the Sianka show, all that. So what I did before we went on Pusha's tour, he actually came out and stayed with me and Goo for a couple weeks in L.A. Just so he could just, you know, we could practice and, you know what I'm saying, make sure everything was right.
Get acclimated.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then also get him acclimated with Goo. You know what I mean? And just making sure that Goo knew him and, you know what I'm saying, Goo is a DJ too. He DJ'd for Hove. You know what I'm saying? So him picking up game from Goo and all of that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because I like Goo said in the Math Hopper, we wake up, eat breakfast. So when Johnny came, it's like all of us, we waking up, me and Johnny, we might go to the gym real quick, you know what I'm saying? We gonna eat breakfast.
Get that work in.
And then get the work in. DJ, you know what I'm saying? I might go record something. And, you know, just having somebody, you know what I'm saying, who's a like-minded of mine and also that's in my age group that, you know, because I got friends, you know what I'm saying? But none of my friends was into music like I was. And for me to meet somebody who was such a kindred soul like me, I feel like it was the missing piece that I needed.
The way y'all rocked that stage, I told him the same thing. Like, I would have never... It seemed like y'all done known each other since y'all was sandbox. Yeah. Like, just by y'all on stage chemistry. Tell me a bit about the tour. How was that?
Man, blessings, bro. Like, Pusha just really took me in with open arms. You know what I'm saying? Invited me to the club on the first night. You know what I'm saying? Gave me my own section. Like,
okay.
He was really showing love, telling me like, and the thing is, Pusha really paid attention. Like, before he got me on the tour, he watched the Butterfly Doors video. He was like, nah, you spitting. Like, that's what the crowd needs. Like, they looking for a young lyricist right now. Like, he just embraced me to the fullest. So it was really like home and cool on that tour, like, you know, and it was also a learning experience. I feel like as much as we had chemistry on stage, I feel like me and Johnny both left the tour, not even just me and Johnny, but Nuke and everybody was on tour with me. We was like, all right, these are the things we learned from this tour that we can do better. We can be a little bit, we were professional, but it's like, how can we be more professional? How can we be more on point when we on stage?
More sharp.
You know what I'm saying? We just, but it was a learning thing, you know what I'm saying? And that was our first tour, which was a blessing for us to be even go on tour push. Because me and Samai used to just be on some like, listen to Push all the time, you know what I'm saying? And like the cold push. So for us to finally get that was a blessing.
So speak about like how all of once it becomes a Jamla Roc Nation family thing and everything's moving as a bigger boat, these bigger situations come. You know, like your freestyling is amplified to a bigger audience.
Right.
You know, you on Sway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We doing BET Cypher, Hip Hop Weekend. Like, kind of talk about getting in those bigger rings now. Because now it's like we can tell. We told the people what when we were at the lower stages, like, nah, I'm really him.
Right.
But as you coming up and you still bing, bing, knocking them out. Like,
right.
How does that feel being able to be you at a higher level? Higher audience.
What I can say is chances favors well-prepared people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was just prepared in all those moments because of my training. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jamla, me being just on Jamla was college basketball. I'm in the big leagues now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't take that lightly. You know what I mean? I don't, because of what the situations I experienced as a kid, where the things my family's experienced before I was even born. Like, I don't take that lightly, because I feel like I gotta break through. So every time somebody tell me I'm getting on a freestyle, I'm like, I gotta murder it, because and it is a chip on the shoulder thing, because I feel like I've been at it and people wasn't hearing me. Right. So now that I'm on these platforms, y'all gonna hear me. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of that, but it's also too because I truly believe I am going to be one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying, to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Of this generation, just period. So I know I got a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? Too. You know what I mean? Too, for people to also be saying that as well as I'm saying that. So every moment, a chance I get, I'm gonna show y'all that I'm not here to play. Right. You know what I mean? So.
And I want to appreciate this full circle moment. Shout out to the OG Ski Beats. Fact. You know what I'm saying? Because Ski Beats got 2 beats on my album. Wow. He did my Loot record and my Nodule record. So that's gonna be a big thing. But I want to shout out to him for him doing the Smack Pack with you. You know what I'm saying? Facts. It was it's actually our production company actually filmed his dojo session in Raleigh. Oh wow! So it was crazy that after that led to him doing a free breakfast with us. Me and him building more. Him giving us beats and all types of shit, like giving game. Him working with Kirk in Mount Vernon, like that's just hard. And I still haven't had a chance to go out there, but his studio set up out there where he's making these smack packs and stuff like that. Kind of talk about just your relationship with Ski before we get up out of here.
Shout out to Ski, man. So I got connected to Ski through Google, because obviously that pipeline. Right. And then ironically, we was out on tour in New York, and Ski was on the street just randomly going to get something. Wow. And I was like, yo, Ski, what's up, man? He was like, yo, I want to do a smack pack with you. Like, I'm gonna send the information to Google. And, I study Ski's, his catalog and what he's done. You know what I'm saying? He's done some classics. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? So when he was like, he wanted me to do a smack pack for him, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I got to make sure I come correct, because this is a legend who's giving me an opportunity, not just for, you know what I'm saying, to be in his ear, but to also gain, you know what I'm saying, a fan base from his crowd. You know what I'm saying, the producers who might not be familiar with Reuben Vincent. Right. So, Ski, he just showed me mad love, and he just and he told me I think he's from Greensboro or something. Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, man, NC love, you know what I'm saying? He just was showing mad love, and I just appreciate all the things, all the gems that he's given me in the times that we talked, and even just the opportunity to do that, to the point where a lot of those producers who did those smack packs now are fans of mine. It
always trickles down back to the home team.
It do. 100%.
I don't want to put you. I don't even feel like I'm putting you on the spot. But can we get a freestyle before we get up out of here? You know what I'm saying?
Free breakfast exclusive.
Little free breakfast exclusive, because you know what I'm saying. I always love hearing Reuben freestyle when I'm in front of him. You know what I'm saying? More so than over the phone.
Let me see. I'm gonna say, I fell in love with this shit on Killborn. I heard these new niggas out of touch, so I feel for them. Miracle baby, my first birth was a stillborn, so thank God that I'm still here. Yay. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. I script graduation, wasn't waiting any longer. Now we in the league, the pressure weighing on me harder when you clutch from the 3. There's defense with the arms up. Foul play, there's no missiles on the call, but we still got officials on the call. Big business, soon I had some plats sitting in the wall. Churches, sins was in the synagogue. My sins bull home when I ain't listening to God. I can hear the wolf cries when I'm listening to y'all. And me and my guys resembling mob ties made me and Tony Sirico sending niggas to morgues. My body is a temple that many girls seen before. And Mamba is the mental snake slither all through the yard. I had to mow the lawn. What's a king to a pawn is plotting to correspond. Riding around the city, blunts roll big as my arm, but I'm trying to stay sober. Me no smoke backwards, nigga, only forwards. Checking my rear view for Black Forest forwards. Getting head while I'm all in the...
Yeah, that's a city nigga from the east side right there, cuz all day long,
appreciate
man.
That, man. One last question for you, man. What's next for you? Tell us what the people can expect from you.
Love is War, man. Love is War is on the way. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give nobody a day. I want to surprise people, but Love is War is on the way. It's a real personal project for me. Okay. Just to give y'all a little background on the concept, it's like I said, my mom and dad were both affected by the war back home. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then they came to Charlotte. met each other, you know what I'm saying, had a child, you know what I'm saying, their relationship didn't work out. And, you know, I seen how, you know, their rocky relationship affected me as a young man, you know what I'm saying, just being honest. And because that's what the project is about, how it affected me, not just internally, but how it affected my own relationships with women. But not just my own relationships with women, my own relationships with money, my own relationships with alcohol.
Wow.
Different things, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I expressed that in this project, and, you know, at the end, I just come to this self-realization of, you know, judging from all sides, I'm looking past point of views. Like, forget the point of view, forget the things that affected me in the past. I got to move forward. I got to be whole in myself and stop filling the holes with different women. Stop filling the holes with different money, with money, excuse me. Stop filling the holes with whether it's like, you know, getting drunk and, you know, just partying all the time, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like men, we go through so much that we fill it with different things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Especially young men, you know what I'm saying? And we suppress all of our stuff in all of those avenues and even more. There's something I didn't even touch on the project, but, you know, I wanted to speak from not just my experience, from experiences that, you know, I know my mom and father have experienced, and then also people around me, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's all of that in the melting pot in the project. So,
Man, I'm so looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? No date, but it's coming soon.
Coming real soon.
Coming real soon. All right, man. That Geechee Suede out now.
Yes, sir.
That video out now. That was shot in the city, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought
Right
that
off
was
Kilbourne.
Right off Kilbourne. That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
That's a fact, man. We appreciate you, man. Reuben Vincent, you know what I'm saying? The next legend out of our city.
Yes, sir.
Live and direct. We in the city right now, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? It's been another episode of the Free Breakfast Podcast, and we checking out.
We up out of here, man.
Yes, sir.